Over its 7 years of development, Silksong had many things that were straight up removed from the game or vastly changed to the point where it was something else entirely. Today I'll be going over 3 major things that were removed from Silksong, 2 areas, and an entirely different ending as well. If you enjoyed the video, then subscribe, because we're trying to reach 500 subscribers before 2027. In the first reveal trailer of Silksong, we can see a couple seconds of an area that was later confirmed to be a town called Farloom Bay. Looking at early map designs, we can see that Farloom Bay was supposed to be located on the far right side of Bylewater. We can also see an NPC who was likely a resident of the town, and there would have also been a bellway there for fast travel. As to why Farloom Bay was removed, it was not going to be finished in time for the release of Silksong, so Team Cherry had to remove the area very late into development. However, it might not be gone forever. We can still see traces of the area in Bylewater, and we can even find an enemy from Farloom Bay in the memoriam. The alchemist Xylotl in the Wormways also states that the birthplace of Lifeblood was found by his master on the edge of the kingdom, which makes sense considering where Farloom Bay was going to be located. With the upcoming Sea of Sorrow DLC being a nautical-themed expansion, it is pretty likely that Farloom Bay will return, probably as the main hub or town of the DLC, which does make a lot of sense, and I would like it to happen, and I'm pretty sure you all would too. A new town is always cool, but then again, it could also be removed and never come back. I don't know, but since they'd already gotten so much work done on the area and had to cut it in very late in development, they probably cut it just to work on it for Sea of Sorrow, and they will release it probably when the DLC comes out. The Red Coral Gorge is probably the most famous thing that was removed from Silksong. In the first reveal trailer back in 2019, we can see glimpses of a beautiful coral-themed area that looks sort of like a forest. However, in the final game, the only place that looks similar to this is the Coral Tower. And the Coral Tower is basically just a series of gauntlets with a boss at the end, not even a place you can actually explore. Looking at early map designs, we can see that the Red Coral Gorge was going to be in the same place as the Sands of Karak and the Blasted Steppes. When in these areas, we can see faint hints of the Red Coral Gorge. As for the reason why it was removed, according to Team Cherry, they said that the beautiful Coral Gorge would have not fit in with the themes that they were trying to tell in Silksong. Silksong is supposed to be about a kingdom that is gradually dying. So the explanation for this lore-wise in the game is that the Red Coral Gorge used to exist in the kingdom of Farloom, but over time it dried up and turned into the Blasted Steppes and Sands of Karak because of the influence the Citadel had over the entire kingdom. As for potentially seeing this area return in a future DLC, I do not think that it is likely, but I would really like it and would probably be my favorite area visually at least. Silksong currently has 3 main endings. One is the normal Weaver Queen ending, achieved by beating the final boss. The twisted ending is achieved by defeating the final boss with the Parasite, which basically doesn't let you heal. And the true ending, Sister of the Void, is achieved by beating the final boss of Act 3. But there are also 2 other endings in the likes of the Mr. Mushroom ending and the Snared Silk ending, but that doesn't really count because all that ending does is unlock Act 3. But there was a 4th main ending that was removed from the game entirely. This ending was found in the game's code and it was called Strung to Serve. There's really no explanation as to how you would achieve this ending, but it would have been very similar to Sealed Siblings in Hollow Knight. Basically, a bad ending. The main theory as to how to achieve this ending would have happened at the end of the Grandmother Silk fight. Normally, after beating Grandmother Silk, you have to bind her so that you can kill her. This ending may have been achieved by simply not binding to Grandmother Silk and instead doing nothing. In the cutscene, we can see what appears to be a fusion of Hornet and Grandmother Silk. We can see Hornet start taking control of the bugs of Farloom and being established as the replacement for Grandmother Silk. Apparently, you can still get this ending if you play on PC by messing with the game's files. And that's about it. Those were the 3 major things that were cut from Silksong. So if you enjoyed this video, then subscribe and I will see you all later.